the Not Just America show matches. Now, the reason we decided to call this is a bit of a joke, guys, because, you know, we got WCS America that represents all of North America, and one of the big things here is we managed to grab, oops, sorry, hit my mic for there, a player from each region of the world, of North America. So we got Phog, who's representing Canada. We got Arium, Caliber, No Regret, and POC representing America, and even Jim Rising coming in to represent Mexico. So we got that really nice mix of everybody possible. The ethnic stir pot.
I didn't even know, man. That's awesome. That's pretty sick.
Yeah, that's I was really glad we could actually get the players that I did ask for this. Now, this is a best of 5 currently going on, guys. This best of 5 is the first match of the day. It's worth about $50. This is a winner take all, and spawning here in the lower left corner of the map, currently leading 1-0 at the moment from IPD Gaming. It is the Pink Zerg player Phog.
Yeah, and his opponent spawning in the top left corner of the map, Frost, chrono boosting furiously. He is the purple Protoss, hoping to take a game here. Arium, representing IPD Gaming.
I hope he's going for cannons. I really do.
I think I mean, if he does scout it, he didn't send out the 2 probes,
He's
so
gonna
he's not
miss
like
it.
dead set on doing it. But
well, actually,
if
what's
the
he going?
opportunity would present himself, I'm sure he would.
I really, the Frost is good for it though. It's not that it's a cheesy build and you want, like, you know, you're cheering for this Protoss player to get like a quick win, but I think it's tactically sound. If you guys don't watch our Go for StarCraft broadcasts, there was actually an entire cup where Stardust, start to finish, just cannon rushed and won the whole cup. So I mean,
wow,
like the Korean Weta Mins, however you want to look at them. I mean, it's something that can have really good effect, and it's something that should be in all good Protoss players like repertoire. You need to be able to cannon rush in StarCraft 2. Now he's not going to do it. 17 goes for the Nexus first, totally fine.
Yeah, and that could be a result, of course, of just not scouting. And he didn't get the scout, but sometimes you will put a forge down just in case you do. Like by the time you scout and you see, oh shoot, there's a pool with lings on the way already. But yeah, he just says, I think I could be safe. The wall off isn't too hard to do on this map either, so
yeah,
I think he'll be perfectly fine.
Compared to something like a way station when you get the top left, bottom right spawns. Oh my gosh, that is like derelict watcher amounts of being crazy. It's
yeah. But hey, Phog though doing something a little interesting here. I think it's just because he didn't scout either. He's going to be getting the gas. He went for the hatch first, getting the pool, but gas just in case it is a gateway. So he wants to get that speed, but I don't think he's going to need it.
You know,
because,
I kind of...
Arium.
Yeah, Arium's not taking his own gas. I kind of, when I saw the forge come down, one of the things I really like is you can either do a little bit of gateway aggression or you can go for the +1 weapon attack that times out so nicely before roaches come down. And yeah. I know you as a Zerg player probably experienced this once or twice when you've got about 7 zealots warped into your third and you just watch everything die because there's nothing you can really do to stop it.
And it hits so fast, you know, whether you chrono boost the warp gate, usually that's what the Protoss will do, but they still get the +1 to time out with it, and it can be pretty devastating, and it just sets the pace for the rest of the game. So, I don't know. Since it is a force fast expand here, though, I mean, we'll see if Arium is going to do so. He seems to be spending a lot of his chrono boost straight up on workers, though, getting that economy going.
It's a little unfortunate losing his probe. Not so much because I think he was like planning to get a lot of use from it, but now you got to send out another one for the pylon later on. You got to hope the 6 lings don't camp outside your natural entrance, and you got to try and sneak it around without getting caught.
Yeah, and Phog's gonna send his lings up there already.
He's fine. I mean, it's all be out here too. It's not like it's dangerous, but one thing I would have liked to have seen out of Arium was the location of the cyber core to be right above that cannon, you know, nestled in by the ramp, so that if a Zerg player does sneak in, they gotta go all the way around that nexus. They can't just dart up to your main. Yeah.
Well, he's just hoping that doesn't happen. He did see that Phog pulled out of gas. He could have probably seen the gas count and saw that it was only 100 gas, and the only reason why he took it was to get the speed in case it was gateway. But, you know, sometimes you can get a bit aggressive if you really want to. You don't really see it much anymore because of the mothership core. But if you skimp out on that sentry, I've seen some funny little bailing busts that hit at awkward times. And just like really weird roach pushes, but you definitely do not see that as much.
Donut?
I know, do not. I said like, dough.
You know what though? I've done that exact same misspeak with like that exact same phrase before. It's the only reason I call you out.
I didn't want to go back. I was just like, you know what? I'm already in it.
You're too funny.
But I do want some donuts, man. I would eat a donut right now.
So just real quick, because we got some people joining the chat here, I guess just tuning in. On the left side, the left camera is going to be Arium, our Protoss player. On the right side is Phog. so you guys know who's who. We're just trying something with player cameras. It's different. That's something we've never really done before. We thought I had some fun with it. Third base probably gonna have to be canceled. He just doesn't have the power to go over here and stop this. If the mothership core was already in position, maybe he picks off these lings, especially with that Zealot, but wasn't quite ready for this little poke coming out of Phog. And
yeah, that's definitely gonna have to go down. He's making another Oracle though, Rifkin, and this is off of the Force Fast expand too, so
it's not exactly the fastest timing in the world.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know exactly the whole point of the Oracle itself, but he might have tried. I think he might have that same thought process of getting it out to deal with lings, without having to really use it. But he had it canceled.
But a Void Ray is almost better in that regard because then you're ready for the roaches as a follow up. But
yeah,
one of the things here. We got another Oracle coming out. Now, at first, this looks like a bit of a waste, because you're like, why make one Oracle? Why make two Oracles? You've missed the timing, and your opponent's already going to be prepared for this with a Spore Crawler or two, as we see Phog does have down. But the idea behind the Oracles are twofold. One, they're great against the Hydralisk that'll inevitably come later. They're great against Lings, as we've witnessed already. But also, that Revelation skill cannot be underevaluated. I mean, it sounds silly and it sounds stupid, and a lot of the time casters talk about it. It's because they're trying to make it look like the Oracle wasn't a complete waste. But there have been times where Revelation has completely helped decide the outcome of an engagement. Knowing that the entire army of your opponent's in the middle of the map instead of the left side allows you to sneak around it.
And even in say it was a Hydra Ling attack, right? And sometimes Zerg will go ahead and try to transition into Mutas. If you get a Revelation on those Hydras, you can tell that there's not going to be any more Hydras added.
Yeah.
And then kind of expect a Muta transition. But if you see a lot of Hydras kind of joining the army, then, you know, you better prepare for that attack. So definitely not to be undervalued, but with two Oracles, I mean, do you think he's going to try to really just
it'd be too late to go. It'd be too late to go for like anything aggressive with him, but what we do see here first off is the Colossus. The Robo Base coming down. He's going to be going for that Void Race to back this up in the odd event that there is going to be Roaches / Corruptors. Ooh, this pop the Force Field Arium. There we go. What a sick Force Field on that Sentry.
He's like in the trees, man.
Yeah, it's just I'm surprised they didn't push him down the cliff or something, because Force Fields have weird mechanics like that. But the Infestation Pit this time out of Phog is a big difference coming forward. So we didn't have the Spire go down hand in hand with this, but instead most likely going to actually be for that Hive tech that we were kind of talking about before.
Yeah, and it makes a lot more sense, I think. I mean, this is a more standard map. And if he does know that Arium is going to be going for that Colossus after it, then it's definitely going to be a help. Roach Hydra Viper, and he can max out by even the 15-ish minute mark. But if, I don't know, he's probably going to try to break that third, or do you think it's kind of go for the late game? He's already taken his fourth. He seems to be all right. Dropping a Spire as well.
I think for Phog, he's not in a situation where he's pressed to attack, right? Like, this isn't like your Protoss player's taking a fourth, you have to shut it down. No, Arium's already on this third. He's got the cannon down, he's got the Sim City. Nothing's really going to break this too easily, so there's no reason to dedicate a lot of forces to this.
Yeah, and I mean, Arium definitely setting up in a really nice position. Getting the upgrades, the extended thermal lance is on the way. And yeah, with the Hydralisk speed upgrade coming, we're definitely going to see Phog committing to that Roach Hydra and getting, of course, the Hive, adding some Vipers into it, getting the energy. And if Arium doesn't get Templar Archives or anything, then okay, as it goes down right now. But here comes a little engagement right
Colossus
now.
barely backs away from this. Another Time Warp goes down to try and keep it alive. It can run up this cliff, and the Hydralisk Chaos Spinner's gone at this point. There's no real danger to Arium. It's a really nice defensive hold, but at the same time, this is what I was talking about. There's no reason for Phog to really pressure in there. Not blindly, at least. Maybe if he had scouted, came in from a perfect angle, you know, all these different things, but that just kind of felt like a needless attack.
I think it was, yeah. I mean, unless he was really trying to reset the sentry count or something, but if you look at Arium's army, it's really not that big either. I mean, where is it? Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. It doesn't need to be. You know, when you're a Protoss player on the defensive, you can just kind of chill back.
Setting
Phog,
up for, yeah.
Whoa.
There we go. There we go.
So I was talking about possibly just doing this for Vipers, but that's not going to be the case. Why would you go Broodlords? I mean, Blink's on the way. 2 Void Rays at a time. Between Blink Stalkers and Void Rays, the Broodlords are a very strange choice.
I agree. I would even, I don't know. I mean, he's just going to try something maybe to catch Arium off guard, and Broodlords are good if it's maybe like double Robo Colossus or something, but this is just straight up Death Ball, and there's going to be Void Rays, as you said.
Oh, that's kind of cool. I like the cannons coming down, actually. This isn't a huge deal, but this will not only help buffer a little bit, it'll also help deal with anything that comes from the air, whereas oftentimes you find yourself backing away with force fields. Now, The upgrades do feel a little bit behind for Arium. Normally, this is where we typically see a Protoss player coming up on level 3, or at least starting it. You know, Chronos being used on the Forge non-stop. I do think the lack of weapon upgrades is going to hurt a little bit, but he's also invested so much in the air that the ground weapon upgrades aren't actually the focus of his army. So at the same time, it makes a little sense. But I really wish this was more Blink Stalker oriented rather than Void Ray oriented.
But it may work out in his favor, especially with this Void Ray, the Broodlord from Phog. I like the Broodlord idea, of course, of trying to siege up and being able to dance while still doing a bit of damage without committing too much of your army. But, I mean, it's really going to be up to a position that Phog can get here and seeing if Arium is going to be able to...
He's going to get the gateway for free. That leads to the cannon. Void Rays will absolutely wreck these Corruptors if they decide to get involved. So it's really important he doesn't send these in early. Arium has not seen that it's Broodlords, though. There's 2 morphing around outside of his base.
Yeah, and this initial wave of them might take him off guard, and it may be able to do a good amount of damage to allow the rest of the army of Phog, you know, to engage.
Well, I don't know about that. It's 2 Broodlords. Look how fast the Broodlings die. It's really not that big of a threat.
You gotta respect the Broodlord, Rifkin, I'm telling you.
Oh, don't be that guy right now. That's such a dumb joke. That's like the Skyrim arrow to the knee jokes. Like, it's just not funny. But oh, I like this out of Arium. I don't know when he managed to sneak a War Prism out, but he managed to get this across the map. Zealots are focusing on top of the natural base. I don't know if they'll be able to get it. It's gonna be close. Transfuses go down like crazy on top of the hatchery to keep it alive, and every single link comes back home. But more importantly than this, it draws Phog away from the base. This allows Arium to move out, and this small dedication of Zealots
are gonna get caught out of position. These stalkers do have blink already.
Oh, you know, it's kind of cool. Actually, Arium's preparing for more Broodlords by going for that Fleet Beacon, potentially getting some Tempest out, but I don't think that's going to be a threat or even a problem. Beautiful Force Fields actually showing out the Hydralisk. I'm making sure that these Corruptors have to back away, because if they try and engage, they're going to die.
Yeah, there's no way that they can engage with that Prismatic Alignment going, so Arium in a kind of an awkward position here, too. I don't know how many Force Fields he does have left, because the army of Phog is actually advancing on him right now.
Mothership Core did go down.
Yeah, there's going to be no Photon Overcharge here.
But even without the Photon Overcharge, I kind of feel like Time Warps would have been more important. And, like, there's so many Hydralisks in this army. If they can't walk away, then they die.
Yeah, and I mean, I like the army of Arium is looking pretty scary there.
Yeah. Oh, for sure, for sure.
You know, Phog kind of overextending, getting a bit confident here.
Yeah, this is a little unfortunate too. Phog was never really able to saturate this base. Not that he needs to. Get 75 drones elsewhere, but I do wish he would have transferred like at least 10 over to this 4th. Start mining from it. It was a little exposed, granted, but I mean, he's in a situation where Arium's forced to play this very turtle up style.
Yeah, those Corruptors kind of just learned their lesson. They're trying to engage a Void Ray. You do not do that, but...
Here I am talking about Arium having to play turtled up, but he's going really ballsy. He takes not 1 but 2 Nexus while this is going on. Yeah, however, Phog does scout both of them.
So he at least knows about that. But I mean, the army of Phog right now, I feel like he's just trying to get value out of these Corruptors now. Because he's made so many of them, and he definitely needs to use them. Whoa.
It's a little unfortunate
going down here.
Right, like if he had backed up and fought within the cannons, maybe that's just that little bit of extra DPS he needs, but a couple of storms pick off a couple of units. They weren't the best storms in the universe, but they weren't terrible either.
No. But that other Nexus is on the way here from Arium still. And Phog, I mean, what is his game plan here? He's just gonna, he can't go Roach Hydra Corruptor, because, I mean, even from the days of Sakuras, we know like against a Colossus, you know, Protoss Death Ball, it just doesn't work.
Did you just say the days of Sakuras, my friend? Because I cringed a little bit.
Oh man,
I wasn't even like into competitive StarCraft when Sakuras was a thing, but even I remember how bad that was.
But anyways, I don't know.
Another pylon down here with a lot of Zealots being warped in. For Arium, I really like the idea of just trying to get behind Phog. I mean, his army's going to send him out in the middle of the map all day, that's for sure, with no doubt. It's a good storm, though. These Corruptors are eating that entire storm. However, with the Colossus down, he has to retreat. And these Hydralisks are going to remain to be a problem. But going up the ramp, these force fields can keep them out. And I like that move a lot.
Yeah, that's actually really nice, getting a use out of all of these Corruptors. So he did take out the Colossus, reset the count, and a nice little counterattack from Phog, but it is going to get cleaned up by these Zealots that don't have charge yet, I don't believe. Yeah, no, charge is on the way right now. So.
But even without charge, I mean, it's not like Phog's going to be doing crazy one-roach micro. No, he's got to focus more on the army at hand. That's the idea of these attacks. You're supposed to be able to just send 4 one way and forget it. A couple storms are going to be slapped down. The Stalkers will blink forward. This is really scary. You got to consider, like, the army composition out of Arium right now, or Phog right now, has so much supply, quote-unquote, wasted in these Corruptors.
Yeah.
If this... Okay, gets to the 4th base. Nice snipe there by the Zealots.
Is down, yeah.
But I was going to say, this is one of the rare situations where you can afford to stop making Colossus and focus almost primarily, I'd say, on Blink Stalkers. Because with good micro, with how low the Hydralisk count is, Blink Stalkers with level 3 weapon upgrades will absolutely destroy what Phog has on the ground.
Yeah, most definitely, and even allowing those Corruptors to stay alive allows him to keep on focusing on that army that would be so good. But keep in mind,
Storms are looking good.
Storms.
He's getting some good connects on these Hydras. The Corruptors have taken out the Colossus, but he doesn't need the Colossus. Archons are merging in. Blink Stalkers will cut off reinforcements. The army from Arium is looking a little too good, and even another Colossus manages to find its way across the map.
Wow, and I mean, look at the bank of Phog right now. I don't even. He just
He's got a bank,
making,
but what good is it if you can't use it, right? Like, again, so much of that supply invested in those Corruptors
that are now going to be turned into Broodlords. Now that all the Void Rays are done, but now look. The Blink Stalker army is starting to get pretty scary as well.
Hang on, let's play pretend for a moment. Let's assume that the Blink Stalker army wasn't that big of a threat. Let's say he managed to even kill half of this, and the Broodlords were still alive. Arium pre-prepared for this. He's got 3 Stargates and a Fleet Beacon. He can make Tempests. This is not at all problematic for him, and this is looking really good for our Protoss player.
Yeah, I think Arium is going to do that final push right here. Most likely, the Broodlords are going to be able to delay it just a little bit, but as soon as they get out of position, those Stalkers could find a nice position to strike.
Kind of a funny way to use those force fields as he backs away. Now, Phog is taking more bases while this is going on, but Arium's still got this pylon up. He had no problem tearing this down before, and he'll certainly do it again. But the disengage here is what I'm really, really worried about. I think he had a lot of momentum, and if nothing else, he should have at least picked off the Hydralisk Den and the Infestation Pit. Killed the tech of Phog.
Broodlords are in an open area now, so I mean, trying to fight them there would have been a little dicey, but I mean, I feel like he's maybe luring Phog out. He's killed the 2 bases, so getting a base up of his own is perfectly fine by Arium, especially because he's adding Tempest, so I just think he's, I don't know, he's...
I like the Archon count. I wish the Archon count was a little bit higher, but look at that. Blinks in, picks off a Broodlord, tries to disengage from these Broodlings. And of course, while he doesn't have a lot of armor upgrades, level 2 is still plenty enough to make sure that a melee upgrade-less Zerg player can't really hurt him that much.
Not at all, and the farther that he does go out here, there's no creep here, of course, either. I feel like this is just Phog's kind of last push. His income is pretty much nothing.
Well,
he has 62 drones that can't do anything.
Okay, so 3 Tempests can one-shot a Broodlord, for those who don't know. They got big bonus damage versus massive. Arium's not focus firing them. I wish he kind of was, though. These are not that useful against Hydralisks. But as the Broodlords fall, there's no threat to these Stalkers, and the army of Phog is literally being thrown up against the wall and stoned to death.
Obliterated. GG will be called, and Arium ties it up.
Yeah, 1-1 now in this best of 5.
Mm-hmm.